Yes, students, welcome again. In this video, I'll discuss about the Mughal Empire, your chapter 4 in history section. Okay, so students, we have studied in the previous chapter that the last ruler of the Delhi Sultanate, Ibrahim Lodi, was defeated by Babur in the first battle of Panipat. In which year? In AD 1526. The victory of Babur laid the foundation of Mughal rule in India. Okay, so we have the list of Mughal Empire. It means for how many years this Mughal emperor ruled in India. We have Babur, Humayun, Akbar, Jahangir, Shah Jahan, Aurangzeb, and we have the time period also for how many years they have ruled. Okay, so students, these Mughals were a person from two great densities. For their mother side, they were the descendants of Genghis Khan, and from their father's side, they were the successor of Amir Temur. We have studied about both of them in the previous chapter, but the Mughals felt proud only of their Timurid ancestor only, and each Mughal ruler got a picture made of Tamur with himself. Student, as I have told you, this Mughal Empire, the time period of this Mughal Empire was 1526 to 1707. And beta, this is the flag of Mughal Empire at that time. Okay. So, students, in this chapter, we will discuss more about this Mughal emperor Babur, Humayun, Akbar, Jahangir, Shah Jahan, and Aurangzeb. So, student, first the question is that how these Mughal established their kingdom in India. You can see in this image also, yes, during Babur time, during 1525, the Mughal, wait a second, I'll let you know, the Mughal empire extended to this Lahore, Punjab, to Lahore, Punjab. Okay, and during Akbar was also a great king at that time. So Akbar added, established this, or we can say, extend this empire, this Mughal empire to, you can see in yellow portion, to Delhi, Agra, Banaras, Surat, up to here. Okay. So, and after that, Aurangzeb also added few states from Deccan Plateau. Okay, he added few states to this Mughal empire. You can see that orange colors, it is of South India. Okay, so Aurangzeb added Deccan Plateau to his Mughal empire. So now let us discuss more about this Mughal empire. So first we have the first king of Mughal emperor was Babur. He was a small king of Fargana, presently, which is located in Central Asia now. His full name is Zahir Uddin Babur. His father died very soon. He was just only 12 years old. All we know in that time, so much person was enemy of throne, right? So many time Babur fought for his emperor Fargana. He won, but he wanted to expand his empire. So someone suggested him about India. Some historian says that an old lady gave a hint to Babur for India. She was a fortuner lady. Fortuner means भविष्य वक्ता. बेटा जो आगे एस्ट्रोलॉजी, यू कैन से, जो आपके आने वाले टाइम में जो बता सके कि आगे क्या होगा, भविष्यवाणी करे. ओके, So that lady was a fortunate lady. So he came in India and attacked 5 times for throne. He lost for 4 times, but in the fifth chance he defeated Ibrahim Lodi in AD 1526 in in 1526 in Battle of Panipat. But in the history, main decisive battle was a fought between Babur and Rana Sanga on 16th. Okay, this one. Babur and Rana Babur and Rana Sanga on 16th March 1527 at village Kanwa near Agra. Rana Sanga was the greatest Rajput of Mewar at that time. So Babur won, and after this, Babur became the master of North India. He fought and won in 1528 at Chanderi. His powers came in Punjab, Delhi, and Gangtok plans as far as Bihar. So he died in 1530. You can see in this picture also the first battle of Panipat, which he was fought with Ibrahim Lodi. Okay, and in left side this is a portrait of Babur. Okay, this one you will find in Burnama, one of many manuscript. Okay, so after this, okay, Babur was not just a good fighter, but also he was a good poet and a writer. He was a very good in Turkish language. He wrote his autobiography Tuzake Barbi and Baburnama in Turkish language. Okay, so after the death of Babur, the next Mughal emperor was Humayun. Okay, so beta Humayun was the eldest son of Babur. They were four brothers, but Humayun was elected by Babur as a king. But he divided his empire into his brothers. So his part was Gujarat and Malwa. When he was ruling his empire, so in another king, Sher Shah Suri came and defeated Humayun in the war at Chaucer in AD 1539 and Kannauj in AD 1540. Yes. So, students, after these defeats, the Mughal Empire in India temporarily ended, and Humayun had to spend nearly 15 years in Persia. And when Sher Shah's successors were become weak and inefficient, so Humayun saw this is an opportunity to regain the throne of Delhi. In Iran, Humayun received help from the Safavid king of Persia and he recaptured Delhi and Agra again. But the very next year, he died as a result of a falling from the stairs of his library. Yes, you can see Humayun's tomb in Delhi. So Humayun was also a good soldier, but some political issues came into his life. He solved very well, but he couldn't solve the whole issues. So some people said when he was in his library and walked on stairs, some bookshelves fall down on his head and he died in 1556. He was handicapped also. His journey was written by Gulbadan Begum in Humayunama, which was in Farsi language. Beta Gulbadan Begum was Humayun's sister. So after the death of Humayun, his son Akbar ascended the throne at the age of 13 years. Akbar was a great king. Every student known his name, right? When Humayun died, he was only 13 years old. His Prime Minister Bairam Khan, whose Prime Minister Humayun's Prime Minister Bairam Khan took the responsibility of Akbar. He gave Humayun emperor in Punjab. Students, Bairam Khan was also PM of Akbar, and Bairam took charges of Akbar administration unless Akbar not young. So, but after some time, some people did backbiting of Bairam Khan in front of Akbar. So Akbar took all the charges and he ordered Bairam to leave him alone and gave him an offer to travel off Makkah. When Bairam Khan was in mid of travel, some Hindu killed him. We can say Bairam Khan was most truthable person of Mughal emperor. Students, when Akbar took charges of his administration, his position was not so good. The second battle of Panipat, which was happened in 1576 between Hemu and Akbar. Students, Hemu's full name was Hemchandra. He was the small king of Rewari. He lost and killed by Akbar in this battle. Akbar was illiterate, but he was suggested by his friend Birbal at every step. He was the first king who was followed policy of secularism. He started policy of tax also, that the Shala Bandobast. He accepted the administrative policy of Sher Shah Suri. Student, Akbar was first king who started a matrimonial policy with Rajputs. Here, matrimonial means beta marriage. Okay, policy with Rajput. And this Dashala Bandobast, it means एक भूमि का कर कहा गया, जिसका मतलब था कि हर 10 साल के बाद भूमि की मिट्टी, उसकी सॉइल की जांच करके भू कर कम या ज़्यादा किया जाता था. अकॉर्डिंग टू द फर्टिलिटी ऑफ सॉइल द टैक्स हैज़ टू पेड. सो जिसको टोडरमल बंदोबस्त के नाम से भी जाना गया. ओके, सो अकबर स्टार्टेड अ ग्रुप ऑफ दिने लाही. दिने लाही मीन्स जब हर धर्म का व्यक्ति आकर अकबर को अपने धर्म की कुछ अच्छी बातें बताता था. ओके, तो अकबर उन बातों को सुनता था और उसे ग्रहण भी करता था और अपने राज्य पर उन बातों को लागू भी करवाता था, जो उसे बहुत अच्छी लगती थी. बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली दिस दिने लाही couldn't work properly. Akbar died in 1605 and Birbal had murdered by Veer Singh Bundela, who was appointed by Jahangir. So Akbar was succeeded by his son Jahangir. His childhood name was Salim. So Jahangir was first king whose mother was a Rajput lady. His mother name was Jodhabai. Because his father Akbar conquered various states and established largest empire of medieval world, Jahangir was also a good king, but he was not able like his father, as his father established a great Mughal empire at that time. So Jahangir was addicted of afim, and that's why his all charges taken by his wife Noor Jahan. Noor Jahan's mother was famous for discovering of perfume. Noor Jahan took all the decision in the absence of Jahangir, and Jahangir was happy in 1 cup of alcohol and 2 leaf of afim. But Noorja was a very sharp lady. She gave all the charges of his administrators in the hand of her brothers and father's hand. So Jahangir also followed the same policy of matrimonial with Rajput. As Jahangir was addicted of afim and alcohol, so Jahangir's failing health led to an open Jahangir's failing health led to an open struggle for power between Noor Jahan and her own son Shah Jahan. and a number of nobles revolted against Nur Jahan. And Jahangir died in 1627 CE and was buried at Lahore. So, after the death of Jahangir, Shah Jahan ascended the throne at Agra in 1628. So, Shah Jahan has left behind an extraordinary architecture legacy, as we all know that he has built Taj Mahal in Agra, right? So, Shah Jahan was the second king who was relatable to a Rajput lady. His nickname was Khurram. He was also like his grandfather Akbar. He fought for his throne and killed his brothers. We can say Shah Jahan was known for his architecture work. The two things for which Shah Jahan is known to the world over are the famous Taj Mahal and the Peacock Throne. Taj Mahal is regarded as one of the seven wonders of the world. It was built with white marble at Agra in memory of his wife Mumtaz Mahal. And the peacock throne was made up of gold and was studded with the precious stones and was placed as Diwani Khas at the Red Fort at Delhi. It was built by Shah Jahan when he moved his capital to Delhi from Agra after the death of Mumtaz Mahal. Okay, but in 1658 he was arrested by his son Aurangzeb and put him into a prison. His last wish was he wanted to live in the prison where he could see Taj Mahal. In his last time, his daughter Shah Ara lived with Shah Jahan unless he died. After his death, when Shah Ara came to his brother Aurangzeb, then Aurangzeb gave him honorable gift as he come to know that his father had died. So students, Aurangzeb was the last and the famous, brave, powerful and fearless king of Mughal emperor. Some people said to him Fakir because he banned all extra activities in his minister room like dances, alcohol and extra unnecessary things. He banned also music in his emperor. He was such a good and strict king of Mughal. He was the first king who won south part of India, as I have earlier said, and I have earlier, yes, here it is the picture. Yes, during Aurangzeb time, he has won the Deccan part of India. He is very strong and powerful Mughal emperor. Okay. Yes. And because after Aurangzeb's death, no king could handle this big emperor, and at last many small king had boycott of Mughal emperor. At last, the last Mughal emperor was Bahadur Shah Zafar. He is also known as Bahadur Shah Zafar, who was born in Delhi. His name was Mirza Abu Zafar Sirauddin Muhammad Bahadur Shah Zafar, his full name. The Bahadur Shah Zafar was the last Mughal emperor and a member of Timurid dynasty. He was the son of Akbar II and Lal Bai, a Hindu Rajput lady. He became the Mughal emperor when his father died. So we can say that we have a famous Mughal emperor in the history. Babur, Humayun, Akbar, Jahangir, Shah Jahan, Aurangzeb, who established Mughal emperor in India, and their time period was 1526 to 1707. Okay, so students, in next class we'll discuss more about this Mughal emperor, that relations with other rulers and their administration and about their court. So till Read the chapter carefully and listen the audio 2 to 3 times, and still you have any doubt, you can text a message. Thank you.